Welcome back to the show, everybody. The most dangerous hands in the multiverse to lose, because we got some of that BlazBlue cross tag battle, baby! Featuring them unreal black things under Night and Buck XCA Tester, with Seth, the third character of the four, joining the BlazBlue cross tag battle roster. And yo, I'm glad we taking a look at Seth, because I'm like, when long time ago, far, far away, when I was examining this game pre-release, Seth was one of those characters I was really interested in because of what he offered as a character and things like that, because of the way that he could set up that fireball and do a whole bunch of mix-ups. I thought that was kind of crazy. Even though that was the case, I ultimately set on Lynn, and I'm happy with that choice. But I do give Seth a run every now and then, and he seems like a character that, because of the type of character he is going to be perfect. Because a lot of the game is going to have to be balanced around all the craziness Naoto can do, the stuff that Teddy can do, what I know Seth can do, and what Hart is going to bring to the table. And given that it's a couple of people in that cast, you know what I'm saying, Team Scythe and Yang and a couple other characters that have come down a little bit, this is really going to be a game that's really going to dramatically change. And yeah, I get it. You know, you've waited a little longer than you should have to find those changes, and those same characters have been dominating. But even though that characters dominate, even when I watch tournaments, I do see a varied teams. You know, I do see varied teams. It ain't always Ruby Gordo all the time. So, you know what I'm saying? And it ain't always a Yang. I'm like, I see a lot of Blake, because Blake is a beast. I'm like, I see a lot of character diversity, especially when it comes to high-level tournaments. So even though that there are things that do run the meta a little bit, it's not like it's really truly affecting the game for real. And I really feel that a balance change with these additional characters and the more characters that are coming are going to make this game way different than it was before. Kind of like how Under Night in Birth was. Under Night in Birth, the original version, is nothing like X Latest in any way. And I don't know if because if everybody's on the jock of X Latest, you probably don't know that. Under Night in Birth was a very different game when it started. And that game has gone through a whole bunch of revisions and a whole bunch of balance changes to get to be the game that is running the show right now. So if you really want to take a look at where that game has come from to where it is right now in the stance that it is, take a look at Vanilla Under Night in Birth, for real. Like, take a look at some day 1, day 30 type stuff, and take a look at where X Latest is right now, and you will be dumbfounded and amazed that while a lot of it does fundamentally look the same, it's not the same mindset that you play the game with now. So, you know, I figured I'd put that out there for the streets, you know what I'm saying? Give you something to grow on, you know what I'm saying? But look, we done now. Screw up! Super duper motherfucking magic box girl, where you at, baby? Yeah, that she is right there. Yo, we are finna take a look at the assassin Seth, and we finna see what's good with him in BlazBlue cross tag battle. So, everybody's in the building, man. You here. The congregation's in the building. Bessie and Janine's on the 1s, the 2s, the 3s, and the 4. And of course, man, you know what I'm saying, the one and the on triple G.O.D got exactly what you need. So, no more bullshit, no more games. Bang! Let's go to work. Now activating BlazBlue cross tag battle versus Unreal Black Things. Das E X E. I like this song. Okay. This is Under Night in Birth X latest Seth, who say you was Yuji Kaji. The young man shrouded in mystery, known as the assassin and feared by many. As though under the command of someone else, he challenges people who possess certain powers to duels. His identity and objective remains unknown. Big, huge part of the story, and we'll get to that, you know, when we get around to actually playing Under Night in Birth story mode on the channel, which is something I do plan to do in the near future. Regardless of that, let's get busy. Alright, these are Seth's traits. Seth is a speed character with moves that can close the gap between his opponent even from a long range in an instant. This is very true. Very true. He has a lot. He has his movement is quick. He has a couple of dash attacks, and then his fireball set up like various ways to do dirt. Seth is one of the characters. The other being Major League Merkava. that can be anywhere they need to be, and it really runs what their offense really is. In Merkava's case, is because he has that flight power, is that, and on top of that, that he can grapple you from in the air, and then if you're not catching him, you get caught and get thrown all over the place, and then get read. You know what I'm saying? In Seth's case, though, Seth's speed sets up his offense. It sets up his offense because of the way that he sets up his fireball, and the way that his dashes work, and the way that he can get in and out of trouble. Seth's a beast. Just putting it out there, you know what I'm saying? Just based off what I know. Video, you may continue. His projectile kill, the captive segment, will fire shots toward the opponent at a fixed time after being set, allowing him to set up multi-pronged combination attacks all by himself. Seth is one of the few characters in fighting game history who is a walking cross-up factory. Setting up captive segment does a whole bunch for his offense, because you gonna be, it's like if a Seth player gets in the mood, you gonna be blocking for a long time, bro. That's just how Seth rolls. Like, that cross up game and his wake up potential is dumb. Captive segment, for real, reminds me a lot of Dr. and Dark's Explosive from Street Fighter EX2, which I do believe is the base wake up tool in the whole history of fighting games, because if he lays down an explosive, it's like, depending on most instances, especially if he lays it down after a hard knockdown, it's not a lot you can do but stand up and block it. And then hope that you don't get mixed up, that you don't get guard broken or anything crazy, and then you get excelled to death. But that's Dr. and Dark for your ass. But Seth is very similar with captive segment because of the way and where he can set it up. He can put you in bad defensive positions. So it becomes up to you, at least when it comes to Unreal Black things, to understand what your options are. And BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle has a lot more options, because not only that even though for a simple game, your defensive options your defensive options are many, and you have plenty of ways to get your partner in there to help you to try to keep off that type of offense, even though it does cost you little meter to do so. You may continue. Look at this. Look at this boy. Just like everywhere. Just look at that. Like, you just holding L's. Just As you see, captive segment is a move that fires a projectile at the opponent after a set amount of time. So if we're going to, you know what I'm saying, explore the history of a move, we have to go back to this game's sister series in Melty Blood. And a character, me and Jay, we lovingly call around here female Terry Bogard. You may know her as the Beast Woman herself, Azuki Alko, right? Browning Starmine. That move is stupid. Like, stupid in a good way, because I love using it. It's a great tool for not only setting up and continuing offense, but doing something to confuse your opponent to make them messed up so you can start one. Set a Star Mine and just watch what your opponent does. Now, it doesn't have what Captive Segment has of shooting a fireball, because Captive Segment does nothing. It's the fireball, as you'll learn, that comes out afterwards is how Seth set up his offense. But if you wanted to know, like, a very similar move in the same vein of things, the Browning Star Mine is that, but Aoko uses it very differently, and great Aoko players know when to set them and when to use it because it's like you can even use it as a defensive move, that she can just set one, and it's like in the defensive state of understanding that if I set this, if you want to do something with it, you can wait it out for it to disappear, you can wait for me to shoot another one, you can do a whole lot of things, but it's going to slow your offensive mindset down, because now you got to think, how am I going to deal with this big giant thing? In Captive Segment's case, that it takes about, depending on what button is pressed, when and how, about how long the fireball comes out that follows it up. As a Seth player, it becomes your job. The first thing you're supposed to know is you're supposed to learn how this move works another night. You're supposed to know this. You're supposed to know when to set it, how to set it, and when it's going to go off so that you can go off. Now, The one thing that I'm assuming that this is going to get into is that captive segment can be done on the ground and in the air. And depending on when and where you do it, it has different effects. From what I can remember from Unreal Black things is that when he does it in the air, depending on the button, he'll either jump away from the captive segment or jump over the captive segment. So and that he can even use, because I think that's done with B. Like, I think the B version is the one that he sets it and flips over it, so then he can even start a cross up from captive segment before it even goes off, and then that you get a whole bunch of crazy mix up and things like that off of that cross up. But the move is dumb crazy, and it's one of the best offensive tools in the game, with a great Seth player that knows how to use it, but someone who studied up knows how to block it and knows how to deal with it. So then that Seth player has to be careful of when and where. So it becomes that ebb and flow of, yeah, I can use it, but does my opponent know how to deal with it? And if they do, how, and how are they dealing with it? And then it's just that mind game from that. But I just figured I wanted to let you know that. Continue. As you see, Blake got hit by captain segment. It takes a couple of seconds and see he can shoot one. And as you see is that he's gonna throw the EX one. It's like that shoots 3. That's great for doing stuff if you have the meter to use it, right? Now, look, this is what I was talking about. Yeah, it works that way in the air. That where he set it, where he fades back at the A bird and then leaves forward and then goes over the other side, so you can set up just like that. And then he can set it up and dash right back in and do a whole bunch of dirty nonsense. As you see right here, this character is dumb. Just this will work. Like, don't. Set the monster, dude. I'm like, I see him and Kuragane like putting in some work for real. Like, yo, they would be a great set team, especially with the way Naruto sets up her and does them dash cancels though. That'd be sick. Super duper motherfucking Magic Box, man. Thank you so very much. Appreciate the love, baby. Let me scoot that out just a little bit. So, I hope you learned something, man, because we get into the nitty. We get into the one I'm looking forward to. Seriously, no bullshit. I can't wait to see, like, what's up with Heart, because I want to know, like, how different is she from Arcana Heart versus Nitro plus Blasters versus this. Oh, and speaking of Nitro plus Blasters, a little public service announcement just for you. Nitro Plus Blasters Herald Infinite Duel is on sale for $9 on PSN right now. And you can get all the pieces of DLC. You can get both, let me see, Heart and Homero for like $3, like $2.70, I think. And then you can get the bikini outfits for Heart, Homer, and Super Sonico for $1.79 or something. So you can get the complete set, because they got 2 bonus colors that they originally gave away in Japan. And from my understanding, this stuff, like, also the DLC is cross-buy, but you have to buy the game on PS3. So there's that. So if you're trying to get in the remix with a good game, it's gonna be on sale for the next 2 weeks. No excuses. I probably will before the sale is over, just giving you a PSA to let you know that's on sale. But I figured since I'm talking about Heart and Nitro Plus Blasters anyway, I'll let you know at the end of this it's on sale on PSN, and so is the DLC at a deep ass discount. So you ain't got no excuse to get that Nitro Plus Blasters in your system. Just saying. Regardless of that, we have got some more show for you. Please sit back, relax, and stay tuned. I am the one and the only, the triple, the G.O.D. I thought you knew that. Got the congregation rolling me, Squish Murder and the gang in the building. Basic Janine's on the unos, dos, threes, and quattros, baby. Holding it down just for you, and we appreciate you coming through for show. Like I said, we've got more show. Bang! Wink. Right after these commercial messages. Seriously, go pick up Nitro Plus Blasters. The game is $9. No excuses. No bullshit. Boom. More show after these commercial messages.